Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. I'm Karen Chaston, and as always, it's amazing to be here. I'm so grateful to be here. So I'm going to shuffle up our card for the group today. So everyone is aware I don't do readings on this channel. I just give amazing advice on how you can move beyond any kind of loss and create your better everyday life. But I do like to do a card each week for the group, whether you are live or whether you are watching this in the replay. This is a card for you today, and it's from the beautiful Marcia Crinton, Channeled Spiritual Guidance Cards from, Channeled Spiritual Guidance Cards. That's as simple as they are. So let's have a look at what today's card's going to be. And please let me know in the comments where you're from, what's happening in your life, how I can assist you with any trial at the moment. Let's face it, there's a lot happening in our world, and sometimes it just gets all a little bit too much. And that's what I do. I help people to move beyond any kind of loss. And there are so many different loss events. Rightio. So 3 more shuffles, I've just been told. Oh, no. We'll go a little bit more. Okay, this is it. And we're going to pick from the top. Oh, it looks amazing. What do you think about that card? It is card number 52, Medicine Woman. Oh, just what we all require is a little bit of medicine. Hi, Judy, and hi, Melanie from Newcastle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So what does our medicine card have to say for us all today? It's always good to get a little bit of medicine that is divinely guided, as opposed to all of these pills and things that are being literally pushed to us at the moment. But anyway, hello, Christine, and great to see you here as well, and thank you. Okay, Medicine Woman. A gentle healer has touched your pathway. She will call down the thunder from heaven and build bridges to awaken you to awaken you and to renew your strength that flourishes within your soul. She will break down barriers and build new boundaries that creates new journeys. She is a powerful force and walks by your side. She has opened her heart and allowed this mystical healing to reach out and meet your needs at this time. Can you hear her calling the Great Spirit to your path to heal and nurture your wounds that you have suffered from in your life? Oh my God, this is so appropriate with what we're going to be talking about today. Awaken to the sound of her drum. This is the heartbeat of all creation. Feel it beating within your own. Oh my God, how amazing is this? I just love it. Can you hear her calling the Great Spirit to your path to heal and nurture your wounds that you have suffered from in your life? Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. What do you feel? Totally. This is an amazing card for us all. Hello, Beck. Great to see you here. Okay, morning, Kat from Swan Valley, Perth. Have an awesome day. Same to you. Hi, Emma from Wellington, New South Wales. What a beautiful place you are in. And what we are all in, isn't it? Even no matter where you are in the world, Australia or beyond, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Melanie, this speaks to me straight away. I've got my first consultation set on Thursday to help me with personal training and nutrition support. Fabulous. And your medicine woman will be with you. Isn't she beautiful? She's absolutely divinely guided. And I love the fact that she looks like a Native American. I am very much aligned with them. I am definitely sure that I have in a past life been a Native American and probably been an Aboriginal as well, because very, very connected to all of that spirituality that the Indigenous people seem to bring to our earth, to our healing of our earth. So today, what are we going to talk about today? So we've only got 30 minutes, so let's deep dive into it. So if you've been watching me for the last few weeks, we have been walking up the gift of loss staircase. So, what is the gift of loss staircase? So, let me just bring up my trusty little slides as we love to do. So, most of you are aware that I love to assist people to move from loss back into love. We are all on a continual and infinite journey of moving from love to loss and then back to love. Love is what we breathe. Love is the essence that we bring into our body, and it's what sustains us. It is what our life is all about. But so often we get stuck in the loss events. And so, why do we have loss events? Why can't we just continually stay in love? Imagine life if everything was just so amazing that you were always in love, love for yourself, love for others, love for the earth, love for our animals, love for our plants, just love for the whole universe. Imagine if we lived our life like that. Well, guess what? We do. We do when we're on the other side, when we walk back and we go back to who we are, our infinite soul. That is how we live our life. And the reason why we all come down to earth is so that we can go on this infinite journey and learn our lessons. And the best way for us to learn our lessons and to grow on a spiritual level is for us to go into loss. Because it's through those trials and tribulations that we actually learn our lessons and we grow so much. And I know it's painful and I know it's not easy. But at the end of the day, when we go back to the other side, and we're all going to go back to the other side, no one gets out of here alive. But the thing is, it's about us learning and growing because we are all spiritual beings having an earthly experience. And I know that my purpose here is to assist you to be able to move through those losses while you're in this realm, grab those lessons, and then get back into love. And the more that you grab the lessons, the less time you will require loss in your life. Works for me. How about you? Right. So that's amazing. And hi to you, Tracy. Great to see you here. So what I have discovered on my journey is that there are over 40 different loss events. Most of us feel that it's a loss of a loved one and that's it. No, many, many, many more. Could be a loss of a loved one, a divorce, your job, your health, your wealth, even your pets. Or over the last pandemic, so many things have come to the forefront. Loss of freedom, choice, status, loss of identity, changing work conditions, recreational and social activities. Loss of identity is the number one loss that comes into our life. And it starts from the time that we more or less start to from around 5, 6, go to school. Don't do that. Don't act like that. Don't speak like that. Don't do this. Don't. So we slowly chip away to the point that we get to a stage and an age in our life where we look in the mirror and we go, who are you? Like, are you the person who I really want to be? And that's what I feel is my number one, purpose is to help people to get back their identity, to realize that they are the only person they're going to spend their entire life with. And the more that they actually start to realize this, the more that we will start to create the world that we all want to live in. And I apologize. I just realized my mic was down there. I hope you could hear me okay. Okay. So, hi, Sarah. Miscarriages. Yeah, miscarriages is a loss that is so hidden. I don't know why there's so much shame around miscarriages. I had a miscarriage very early on in my life. And, there are so many things. And thank you, Karen, for saying that. And abortion, there's so many things. Like adoption has touched my life. At 16, I adopted my daughter out. And I have to say, there is so much trauma for both my daughter and for myself in the whole adoption process. And I'm grateful to say that she is in my life, has been for the past 20 years. And it has been a very much that up and down journey, but we're in a good space where we're starting to understand who we are. And, it's funny, she's going to be 48 in a month today, actually, on the 8th of December. She's going to be 48. And I really do feel that as we come into our, sixth decade, at 50, that's when we really start to be more open to so many things. And my condolences, Melanie. It's not easy to lose, a child at any age. And at 21 weeks pregnant, I assume it's pregnant. I, totally feel for you. Most of you are aware that my 27-year-old son, back in 2011, my husband and I did find him. We thought he was passed out at our back door, but unfortunately he had passed away several hours earlier. So any loss is traumatic, but it's really important for us all to understand there is no hierarchy in loss, okay? A loss of a loved one does not trump a divorce or a loss of a pet. It's loss is loss, and it's a relationship that we have lost, and it could be a person, it could be a place or a thing. And it's important for us to all to understand that we all process loss differently. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm actually here to assist in everyone having a very, very healthy understanding, a loss intelligence, because let's face it, we have a very huge lack of loss intelligence at the moment. So here we are, and as I said, for the past 3 sessions, we have been going through the gift of loss process. We've gone through the first step, which is stop. We've gone through the second, which is accept, and we've gone into the third, which is identify. And today we are going to deep dive into the fourth step, which is called complete. Now we're going to complete the relationship. Now, it's very important for us all to understand that there's 3 aspects to every relationship. The first aspect is the physical. And the physical is the way that we hang out together, the things we do, the things we say, the places we go, the way we touch each other. And it's really important that we understand that. Okay, whether it's a sexual relationship or not, it doesn't really matter. It's exactly the same, okay, except for the fact that you have sex with someone and you may not with another. That's the only difference. And that's a physical difference, obviously. And then the second aspect is the emotional, okay? Now, this is encompassing of all of our feelings, the good, the bad, the glad, and the sad. And the third aspect is our spiritual. And this is that intangible. We know we are connected to this person, place, or thing. We're just not sure why we're so connected. So when the loss event occurs, any loss event, right? Death, divorce, job loss, whatever it is, okay? Any of those 40 plus different loss events, it is only the physical aspect of the relationship that ends. The emotional and the spiritual live on forever, okay? And it's the emotional aspect that causes us all of that pain, okay? And that's why with the first 3 steps, we get into and we deep dive into the emotional part of the relationship we've lost, okay? Really important for us to understand this. Now, this fourth step, this complete, is where we get to do a beautiful ritual, a beautiful way of completing the relationship. Now, when I say completing the relationship, it's completing the relationship here on earth. Remember, our emotional and our spiritual lives on forever. Okay, so it's about us completing the fact that we realize that the physical has ended, the other is going on, and we don't need to be physically crippled through this relationship being over for whatever reason it is over. Okay, so when we complete the emotional side of it, we may still have sadness, but sadness is completely different to grief. Like, My son passed away 10 years ago. There are many times that I am a little bit sad that he's not here creating his family like his two brothers are, his twin brother Josh and his older brother Dan and his half sister Kim. They've got beautiful families, they've got a loving partner, they have children. Of course, I wanted that for Dan. He didn't have any of that. They're creating their home, they're creating their careers, they're living and loving their life. Of course, I feel sad that Dan is not doing that. But I'm also very grateful that he's on the other side because, I spend more time with Dan than I do with his siblings, believe me. He is constantly with me. He is guiding me. He is the one that's assisted me to create my programs, my books, my retreats, everything. And that's what I love more than anything else. It's just amazing to have him here. So how do we complete a relationship? Okay? Responsibility. That is the first thing to complete any relationship, is we need to take responsibility. There's two people in every relationship. And if it's right, there is only two people in every relationship. To quote Princess Diana, there was three people in that relationship and it was a little bit crowded. So there is only ever really two people in every relationship. So it's about you taking responsibility for your part of it. And the way that most of us don't take responsibility is we go into blame. It is their fault. They did this. They said this. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. I am blameless. No, you're not. Now, if you've watched me before, I have a lovely habit of breaking down words, and blame is the best word I love to break down. Okay? So there's blah, and then there's me. Now, if you're in the blah, 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 blah of the relationship, you are not taking responsibility for me, which is obviously you. So that's what we need to start to actually listen to ourselves. How do we talk about this relationship that we have lost, this loss event, whether they're in this realm or they're not? How do we speak? Start to listen to yourself, because to complete your relationship in a loving way so that you can move forward and create the life that you want to live and love each and every day, where you are responsible for your past choices. You can learn to be able to do what I'm about to share with you in a minute. We really do start to really embrace this part of the process. Taking responsibility for you. You can only take responsibility for you. You can't take responsibility for anyone else. They're taking responsibility for themselves, for the things that you've done, for the things that you've said, for the things that you didn't do, you didn't say. And taking responsibility to say, well, do you know what? I really didn't like it when you did this. But maybe I can understand that because of all of these things way back here, this led you to do that, to be that person. Okay? It's about you getting out of the blah, blah, blah and into the me. Because at the end of the day, you are the only person you're going to spend your entire life with. You are the only person that you spend 24/7 with. So it's time that you got to really love you. Listen to the way that you talk. Listen to the way that you think. Listen to the way that you feel. Yes, listen to the way that you feel. Start to take responsibility for it all. Now, I'm just looking at the notes that quite a few people have, said that, they've lost their loved ones this year and whatnot. I am more than happy for you. That harsh and a critic. I have a beautiful spiritual guide lady who is my spiritual, I guess, teacher. She helps me to remember, because that's all we're all ever doing. We're all remembering, right? We all know this stuff. It's just a matter of us remembering. And she calls that harsh inner critic the shitty bitty critic, the shitty bitty committee. And it's so true. So anyone would like to have a 15-minute chat about any of your past loved ones or anything that's going on in with your life, just reach out to me. I'm just going to make sure I type my name properly or it won't work. And here's my email address. and just at the top of the heading at the subject line, just type in where you met me, and I'm more than happy to organise a 15-minute chat to assist you in any way. So, how do we take responsibility and move beyond the blame game? Because it is not serving you. You may think it's serving you, but I'm telling you right now, it is not serving you in any way on your spiritual journey. It is keeping you stuck. It is keeping you in the past. It's keeping you angry, full of regrets, and full of bitterness. And that all of that in your body is going to turn into disease. Okay? Whether you like it or not, you are going to get some sort of disease. So if there is no other reason apart from your physical health, now is the time for you to start to take responsibility and get out of the blame game. Otherwise, your anger and your bitterness and your shame and every single emotion that you have got stuck in your body will turn into disease. It's that simple. Whether you believe it or not, it's going to happen. So let's get healthy. And the quickest way to do that is for you to start to, after you've done that deep dive on step 3, which was to identify things that we want to apologize for. Remember, we're taking responsibility. So we come first. What are the things that you'd like to apologize for? And if you're honest, you will have, for every relationship, there are things that you have done or said or didn't do, didn't say, is for you to get a list together and you apologize. The second things that you do, see, Sarah, fibromyalgia, you've already got it. And you can reverse that. You can reverse any disease in your body. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what anyone says. When you start to take these steps and to deep dive into your life, your physical health will change, right? We all know there's so many books out there that say exactly the same. I am telling you now, there's the medical medium, there's the secret language of your body, there's you can heal your life. There are so many amazing books out there that are saying exactly what I'm saying. It's backed. It's backed by you understanding is the way you feel is what you are creating in your life. So the first step is to apologize. The second step is to forgive. Oh my God, I can't forgive them for what they did to me. There is no way I will ever forgive them for what they did. You don't understand how traumatic it was. And I understand. But there's a difference between forgiving and condoning. Okay? So why would I forgive even though I do not condone what they did? The reason that you forgive is because if you don't, it's like you drinking poison, expecting the other person to die, right? You're holding on to all of this stuff that they did and they said, and it was horrible. And I can't believe that you expect me to forgive them. I'm not saying condone, okay? But when you forgive them, you release that tightness, that energy, you release that baggage that you have been carrying around for way too long. But more importantly, that when you forgive, you get the lessons. You get to understand what happened. I'm not saying condone, right? But you can forgive and not condone. You don't have to like what they did, but when you forgive, everything changes in you. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And remember, that's the journey we're on. And then the third thing that we identify, that we bring together, is that you acknowledge. And there's always something to acknowledge, right? So you apologize, you forgive, and you acknowledge. And acknowledge can be, some nice things or some horrible things. In your acknowledgement, you can say, and I acknowledge that even though I've forgiven you, I do not condone what you did, if that makes you feel better. So when you bring these 3 things together, that gives you the basis of the next step in the complete stage, is where you write a letter. And you're going to write a letter based on apologize, forgive, acknowledge. Okay. You're never going to read this letter to the other person, but you are going to read it to someone in this physical realm, because when we read things out loud, we put them out into the universe, right? And it's like when we write, okay? When we write, we seem to bring in all of our senses, right? And that's why it's important for us to do the last step, is to read it out loud, so that we can also speak it and hear it. It's an amazing process. I have to tell you, amazing. Oh, I've got to keep going. So, demystifying loss. Actually, I'm going to have to change that thing because it's now become an international bestseller. Yay! And I highly recommend that everyone on this call or on this show today, I highly recommend that you go into Kindle. You can get it now. If you go to that link, you can get it as a paperback or as Kindle, because I have now released the paperback, and I highly recommend it because I go through this process in details. There is like 320 pages of me showing you how to, demystify loss, because it really is time for us to have a loss intelligence, so that we know when loss comes to visit, and it is going to come to visit. There are over 40 different loss events. When we know how to move beyond any kind of loss, we very quickly get out of that infinity of loss back into love. So I highly recommend that you go there and download the book. I give you in detail these beautiful gift of loss steps. And believe me, you could sit there and read the book and follow every single step that I give you on how you can move beyond any kind of loss. So I highly recommend it. It's an amazing book. It really is. It's been divinely guided, and yes, I am the author, but I can tell you right now, I should have Dan's name there as well, because he truly is my guide from the other side. So that is our show, believe it or not. Any more questions? Thursday, 11 a.m. for 30 minutes, same channel, exactly the same place, where we will be going into our fifth step, which is how we pivot, which is an amazing process, believe me. And thank you, Melanie. So that's it for today, just about. I've got a couple more minutes. So any questions, because I would love to answer any questions. And I really do appreciate you all being here. Demystifying loss, I have to tell you, I wasn't going to write any more book. This is my fifth paperback book. I've got numerous email journals and all that sort of stuff. And I wasn't going to write anymore because I thought, oh no. And I have to tell you, actually, I'll write it in here. If you really want to have a look at all of my books, just visit the Chaston Centre, chastoncenter.com/bookshelf. And you can have a look at all of the different types of books that are there. The link's there so you can sort of purchase or whatever. But I highly recommend that you have a look at the Demystifying Loss, because it will accept you. Can you please tell me anything about my son? I'm sorry, Kels, I don't do readings like that. When will he return, and what will it be like? Okay, Kels, I don't do readings like that. I am a beyond loss expert. But Kels, reach out to me. You've got my email address there. Please reach out to me and let's have a conversation, because what I have found, right, is we can't change anyone else. The only person we can work on is ourselves. And I'd like to ask you, girls, have you done the deep dive into you? Have you dissected your life? Have you looked at the things that have happened in your life? Have you healed from those things? Because what I have found in all of my clients at the Chaston Centre is that when we do our inner work, we become the person that not only do we want to hang out with, but so do everyone else. So the journey is more about you than your son, okay? And it's important for you to become that person who you came here to be. And when your energy changes and you become the most beautifulest person that I know that you are, no matter what has happened in your life, we are all beautifully divine individuals. Okay? We are all perfectly imperfect. But it's about our life journey is about us taking the steps to find our amazing self. So, Kels, have you taken those steps? Download the book. The book will assist you to do that. I've also put my email address here. Reach out. More than happy to have a 15-minute chat with you. Just email me at the heading. Just let me know where you found me, where you heard me, because that is the best thing I can say. Because, Kels, when you work on you, you will be amazed at how all of your relationships, every single relationship in your life will become better. Okay? And whether your son's here or somewhere else, he will feel that energy. We are all energetic beings. We're all connected. He will feel you. He will feel that you're in peace, that you are in love with yourself. You're in gratitude. He will feel it. And I am sure he will come back and be your beautiful young son again, no matter how old he is. Okay, everyone, I am out of time. I'm actually a minute over time. Great to see you here. Thursday, 11 a.m. Queensland, noon New South Wales. Reconnect then. Bye for now.